You are listening to The Art of Sales. Everyone sells every day, and this is your source for conversational, real-world sales and prospecting methods that you are comfortable using and that get results. You'll help people buy instead of pushing them into being sold. Here's your host, Art Sobczak.
Okay, don't analyze this. Just think about it and answer. What if you could order food from your computer screen and then it would instantly come out of a box on the side? That got you thinking and visualizing, maybe even tasting and smelling it, didn't it? Regardless of whether or not you thought it was crazy, personally, I think it's pretty cool and actually might be happening soon. Maybe it's what the original vending machine inventors asked themselves. The point is, it got your mind working. And that's what you want your prospects and customers doing, right? What if you could get more of them engaged in thinking and talking about their needs, their pains, their problems, ones that you could solve? Now, that question itself was an example of what I'm suggesting that you do with your prospects and customers and yourself. And that is ask what-if questions. If you have kids, notice their questions. Sometimes they frustrate us because we don't have good answers, but it makes us think. I remember when my kids were little, I heard things like, Dad, what if cars had wings and jet engines? Dad, what would happen if people would sit on top of domed stadiums instead of in them? Dad, what if ice cream came out of water faucets instead of water? And often I'd patiently give the logical answer that those things really weren't reasonable to even think about. Other times I'd become so frustrated in trying to explain how those situations weren't possible. And I learned a very important lesson from my kids as it relates to sales and business and life in general, actually. We too often think practically, logically, and in terms of what we think is acceptable or the way things are done. We don't imagine enough, and we don't get our prospects and customers to imagine either. Creativity expert Roger Van Eck wrote in his book, A Whack on the Side of the Head, great book by the way, that playful speculation can give you positive results. Albert Einstein developed some of his early relativity concepts by asking himself, what if I were an elevator falling through space at the speed of light? What if there was a hole in the side of it? What if a shaft of light came through this hole? It's a little out there, but hey, that was his thought process. So how about you? How about if you ask this of your prospects and customers to get them to open up? For example, so Pat, let's set money issue aside here for a moment and get a little bit crazy. What if you did have this in place? What are all the positive effects that you would notice? What if you did find a way to implement it? What would that mean to you in terms of increased production? What if you just decided to move forward today? And you can ask what-if questions of yourself. What if you did a few things differently? What if you decided you were going to beat all sales records next month? What if you were going to go after that new prospect that you haven't up to this point? So I've got an exercise for you. So take these following categories. Rewind this if you need to. Your prospects, your customers, things you want, your career, and people you care about. And then come up with what-if questions to get you and them thinking in terms of possibilities. You're going to like the results. And by the way, it would be awesome if ice cream came out of water faucets, wouldn't it? All right. Hey, you know what time it is.
Your attitude will be iron every way you'll never feel what they say. It's the art of the sales quote of the day.
That's right. Time for the quote of the day. And speaking of what if, this is from a guy that asks what if all the time. Pablo Picasso said that every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist after growing up. Wow, that's pretty true, isn't it? Okay, so, hey, if you're getting value out of this show, a couple things. One is I want to give you a lot more. Go to smartcalling.com, which is my blog site. You'll see hundreds of free tips there. My free ebook of 501 sales tips, and I will actually send you a free sales book as well, and you can get that at freesalesbook.com, and that's for U.S. addresses. Also, please tell a couple friends about this show. If you're a person who likes to help others, send them to the show site, theartofsales.com, theartofsales.com. Thank you so much for investing your valuable time with me. Until next time, make it your best sales day ever. I'm Art Sobczak.